Hello there guys and welcome back to Titan Quest Let's Play. In this episode we're going to be solely fighting the Manticore, badass deadly boss that's only native to epic and legendary difficulties. So this is where we stopped last time. We're now in the Fayoum area and I'm gonna ignore all the other places for now. I'm just gonna go straight and fight the Manticore. So just gonna decide only to stop by the Fayoum oasis and just get these side quests here for the next step, which we're gonna do in the next episode. So that's one of the cycles here, Caravan Vows. It's another one, the hidden treasure. Here it is. And yeah, this guy gives you Caravan Vows as well, so it's two NPCs. Two NPCs give you the same quest. Alright, so this is just two side quests which we'll do in the next episode. For now, I'm just gonna quickly check with the merchant. Alright, so this is the cave that leads us to the Manticore, or more precisely that's where Manticore lives, but it's a long cave, if you didn't know. So it's just here to the east is Fayoum, and it's right to the east of the Fayoum. So you head in there. It's a long cave, so I'm going to skip most of it. And just before we go, I noticed we had a lot of vile ichor here, so we had 2 here, 4 here, and also 1 we just picked up here, so we have quite a lot, and I don't know why I haven't completed it yet. So here we go, completed that. 5% chance of 2 seconds of stun, which is not so bad, but I'll save it up for another time. Right, let's continue. Alright, so this is the place. It's here, it's just where you get the small opening which goes to the bigger one. So these are the things we need. We need lightning resistance, we need poison resistance, and we need bleeding resistance. 3 resistances against him. Now all of these attacks are deadly. They can kill you in 1 hit. They also are quite avoidable, so you can avoid them. But for now I decided to, so we've had this is the armor we had, which was swapped recently, but I think I might just put it on for now for this fight, to give us some poison resistance. I mean, we are gonna swap back. We also had this Atropos Assistant, which is quite lucky because it gives us bleeding resistance, which is quite hard to find. It gives us tons of bleeding resistance as well, like 111%. We are losing our piercing, but piercing is fine because Manticore doesn't really deal piercing, so we're gonna be doing this. I mean, all this is just a temporary change just for this boss fight. Alright, so I'm just gonna put our existing axe there for now. Now it's lightning resistance we need. So this is something we might need to look in a jewelry. You can also do it, what was the relic called? I forgot now. It's the one with the yin and yang symbol on it. That one gives you lightning resistance, which you find in Act 3. Unfortunately, we don't have any. So I'm just gonna have to look with the rings. We don't have any. I mean, we only just have this one, which gives 28% lightning resistance, but 28% won't cut it because it will still be in the negatives. So looks like I'm gonna go to the merchants and take a look, see what they're selling, if they have something bigger. Alright, so I've returned and I found this ring on the merchant. I bought it. So 61% lightning resistance, it's pretty good. So this is what we're gonna equip. We're gonna have to put it again instead of this one. Now we're gonna be losing a lot of offensive ability, unfortunately, which is gonna make things harder, but at least our lightning resistance is no longer in the negatives. I mean, I'm not sure if 21% is enough to survive his lightning breath attack, but it's better to be on the safe side. At the very least, it's not a negative. If it's a negative, it's a guaranteed kill. And I also looked around which relics to put in it, and there isn't anything that good we have right now out of what goes on jewelry. So I just decided to put this Anchor of Isis to give us slightly bigger pool of health, just increase our health by a little bit, so anything helps, you know. Alright, so we have all 3 main resistances sorted out. It's time to go. And I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, every single time I go to fight this guy, I shit bricks. I'm serious. This boss is scary, alright? Because he's got too many deadly attacks. I mean, he's got the lightning breath, which can kill you in 1 hit if your lightning resistance is low. It has the pounce attack, and it has the poison projectiles. I think both of those deal poison and bleeding. I mean, poison projectiles definitely deal poison. I think the pounce deals bleeding and poison, or something like that. It's a combination of those, I think. Either way, you should max out all 3 of those resistances. Well, not max out, you probably won't be able to. But don't neglect them, you know, because this guy's dangerous. I mean, he doesn't always use those attacks, but he uses them quite a lot. And even though they're avoidable, you could get caught out. And yes, there is monsters around here, so you know, you don't want them getting on the way, so just just clean this area out. If it worst comes to worst, you can always, run away back to the entrance. Manticore is not going to follow you. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that with the Manticore, because Manticore doesn't slowly drain your health down. He hits you in one hit and kills you. So there's no running away. So he's around here. There he is, look at that. A huge beast just comes in and spooks you out. And there's his lightning breath. So I've gone into Colossus form. It's gonna help us out for a little bit, but not for long, because it doesn't last much. And he's got a lot of health. So that's his pounce attack. Notice his pounce attack is one of the reasons it's so dangerous is not only because of damage, it's because it hits an area which is not obvious. Because you think it's only gonna hit you like where he lands, but it actually goes around on an invisible area. And if you're caught in that area, you will die. See, he does that, and you hear that sound. And also these poison projectiles, he usually does them when you're when you go into long distance, far away, then he shoots them. And, well, then, most times, so long as you keep walking around him, the chances of them hitting you is pretty much non-existent. So, just don't stand in the same place, just keep moving around him, and he won't hit you with that. Now, when he does the lightning burst, that's your biggest opening, although he could do this straight after, but he doesn't do it rarely. Usually when he charges his lightning burst, it gives you like a couple of seconds to start hitting him. It's an opening. He loves doing that pounce attack, doesn't he? See, that lightning breath, gladly it's not like Talos's fire attack. Talos does fire attack like all around the whole area, which is impossible to avoid. But this guy's lightning breath, it only goes right straight on forward. So long as you just move on, like move out of the way just by a little bit, it's not gonna hit you, which is good, because otherwise it would be a pretty difficult boss. I'm not entirely sure why the devs have given him a lightning breath, because the Manticore in the lore is not really associated with lightning. It's just a huge lion with bat wings and a giant scorpion's tail. It's more like poisonous creature. You might notice also there's a lot of giant like carcasses, well, not carcasses, just bones lying in all around this area. I honestly have no idea how he brought all these huge beasts into this cave. In fact, how did he get in here in the first place, because the entrance to the cave is quite narrow. Unless there's another opening somewhere else in the cave, like maybe at the top, and he simply flew into it. Who knows? And yes, this is the real Beast of Legend. If you notice, his name tag says Manticore, Beast of Legend. He is a magical monster type as well. Those are quite rare, but I probably should have had a go trying it. But Spellbreaker could actually deal some damage on him, because he's magical type. Spellbreaker hurts magical. But I think you have to actually max that whole skill and its synergy to be able to deal any reasonable damage to the Manticore. Otherwise it's not going to do much. I mean, if you notice, for the most part he keeps just using his weak attacks against you. He just keeps biting you and tail bashing you. He just does that most of the time, and then suddenly he pulls out one of the stronger ones, and you just have to predict when he does that. You just have to watch his attack animations. This is one of those bosses where watching attack animations is extremely important. Which also brings me to another point. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Manticore is actually susceptible to the slowing effects, so you can actually slow him down a little bit to make it easier, because that way you can see him starting to execute his attack animations earlier. So that's something worth keeping in mind. If you're really struggling to find the resistances, you can try to find something that slows him down. We've almost got him. He has a lot of health, and unfortunately we had to sacrifice a lot of our offensive power for the sake of being able to survive his attacks. He's just a nasty monster. I mean, like I say, I always worry about when I have to go and fight him. I mean, I worry about going to fight this boss more than I worry about when I go to fight Hydra or the Dragon Leech. I mean, if you thought Talos was bad, you haven't seen everything yet. This boss is probably one of the nastiest in the game, simply because of how deadly his attacks can be, and that he's got more than one of those. I mean, most bosses have only one deadly attack, and so long as you find the resistance, you can avoid it. But he's got like 3 deadly attacks. He was starting to lag there, which was not helping at all. See, it's good that there's huge open area here, because it would be really hard to fight him in an enclosed space. He's almost dead now. There we go. Of course the sound went out of sync, but there we go. As soon as you kill him, he just turns into a skeleton. Phew, I was actually just trying to catch my breath there. Right, Manticore, Beast of Legend. Now, let's just put all our things back, because we're quite vulnerable in our with our current setup, because it's not designed to fight anything else. Alright, so let's go and find his chest. So it was around somewhere on the right hand side. I mean, there's still monsters around here, so this is why you don't stray too far from where you meet him, because at the point where he is, there isn't any monster, but so as soon as you sort of walk out a little bit outside of it, and suddenly there's all these other monsters around, and you know, you don't want them getting in the way when you're fighting something as deadly as the Manticore. So yes, we've defeated the Manticore. And in the next episode, we're gonna be exploring Fayum area mostly and do the main quest there. Alright, so there it is. This is where his chest is, see that? So just got it by quite a few enemies, so just lure a few out, defeat them, and then take care of the rest. These Scorpos are not to be underestimated either. Okay. So, this is where on the map it is. It's just around this small area, like mostly to the northeast side of the map. So let's see what he's got for us. Quite a lot of little things, but doesn't seem like anything special. Just pick up all the gold and relics and stuff. Set's Betrayal, Reganos, Shield of Refugee. I hate the sound being out of sync for some reason. Amun-Ra's Glory, Jet of Osiris, Formula, some Charm of the Cat. Charm of the Cat gives you total speed bonus if I'm not mistaken. So that's a Shield of Refugee. The one we've got now is better since it gives a damage bonus. But that one is more defensive. That's a Charm of the Cat with a total speed bonus. It's not as good as Charm of the Tiger. If I remember, Charm of the Tiger gives you more. Alright, so let's complete all these relics. So that's Amun-Ra's Glory. That's Set's Betrayal. And that's Jet of Osiris. Here we go, 72 energy leech over 3 seconds is a completion bonus. Okay, well, that's done. Manticore is toast. And the next episode, we're gonna be doing the Fayum area. So, see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.